Just as we predicted, Isagi Yoichi isn't quite done burning through his ego juices. With this entire chapter being a prelude to what he does next, I can only assume PXG will be destroyed, dismantled, and ultimately owned by Blue Lock's #1 egoist. What's going on, everyone? My name is Animasu, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Blue Lock chapter 282 leaks titled Need You. As always, if you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock and want to support me, please click that subscribe button, comment below for the algorithm, and even consider joining my community Discord. My Blue Lock Halloween art competition also just ended, so please help me out by voting for your favorite piece on the screen. Simply include the number you want to vote for within your comment, and I'll tally them up and announce the winner later on. If you're not interested in looking at the art and voting, please skip to this timestamp, but I really would please ask you to because the artist worked really hard on these. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into the awakening of Isagi Uchiha's Sharingan. The Blue Lock chapter 282 leaks open up with a view of the Star Change System board, indicating that the Master Strikers only have 59 seconds remaining on the pitch, meaning they've been on the pitch for 2 minutes and 1 second exactly. The first person we see, of course, is Julian Loki, barreling up the pitch with the ball in possession. Michael Kaiser is even seen here at the bottom of page 1, pissed off while trying to track Loki with his metavision. With Michael sprinting in pursuit to try and stop Loki, Isagi Yoichi too is trailing just behind, mainly focused on his own teammate rather than the opposing speedster though. With last chapter showing Michael being equally angry with Loki's godspeed, Isagi uses the context clues to piece together that Michael Kaiser is a talented learner too. He reads the field with his visual prowess, breaking it down into components to then rebuild himself. An important detail to note is while Isagi is monologuing, his puzzle pieces are split between white and black colors instead of their typical consistent white or clear. This is more than likely meant to represent his return to zero and his true desires coming to surface, because these colors specifically represent people's true desires, inner thoughts, stuff like that. Anyways, Isagi then continues to think even deeper on this, realizing that everything Michael Kaiser has done up to this point, it's been perfectly understandable even for him. Even with the Kaiser Impact, it's just a weapon anyone could develop with enough training, knowledge, and studying. It's simply the strongest example of that design in the current world, making Kaiser a prodigy among the geniuses. Unlike the unimaginable strength demonstrated by Toshirin, everything Michael does can be broken down and replicated, exactly what Isagi has been doing this entire arc. The pieces then begin to further click in his mind, as Isagi thinks back on the concept of self-type and world-type egoist. As we know, world-type egoists operate and produce based on what's deemed worthy to the current world. Isagi realizes this is very similar to how talented learners operate, breaking down geniuses and conforming to the standard of the world. Their logic is just too similar to overlook. This would make self-type egoists more often than not geniuses, because their intentions and goals are equally selfish and individually driven. So this means that pursuing meaning in your own selfish desires is what lights the spark in a genius, leading to the back and forth evolutionary process between them and talented learners. With a shocked expression as puzzle pieces explode out, Isagi realizes that he must be on the right path, as this analysis is truly invigorating him. We then get an entire page showing different egoists like Ryo, Snuffy, Barou, and Bachira, Kunigami, and Shigeri. Isagi explains that geniuses and talented learners coexist, admiring the other while pushing for evolution and a new world standard. Up until now, he's been giving it his all as a talented learner, so he's overlooked it, but geniuses and talented learners are not a hierarchy where one is over the other. Instead, they stimulate each other in a relative way, leading to, like I said, a back and forth evolutionary process that sets the world standard. We even get a really cool panel to accompany this showing a scale with the chibis on it, fully equal to show the cycle of egoism. Anyways, we finally then leap back into the action of the match, as Hiyori and Raichi scream out to prepare for the incoming Julian Loki. They're attempting to fall back and use numbers to stop the speedster. Meanwhile, Noah is on his side, holding him back with an arm across his chest. The calmest of them all though is Isagi Yoichi, who takes a deep breath while assuring himself that he can adapt and he will win. Still watching as Isagi bypasses Noah, Isagi realizes that one of the biggest factors holding him back up until this point is that Yoichi has been fighting and thinking of himself as a genius. Looking over at Kaiser though, who's looked equally worried, Isagi deduces that his best course of action is to fight like a talented learner he is. He must accept exactly what he is and go forth, using the logic of he and Kaiser rather than trying to compete with the likes of Rin or Loki. Speaking of Michael Kaiser, he first started shining in this match after throwing away everything tying him down. His hatred for Isagi, his status as a new generation talent, Michael threw everything in any semblance of rationality to the wind, with page 11 then showing Isagi breaking apart into thousands of pieces. The panel perfectly mirrors when Kaiser returned to zero and reduced himself into nothing. Isagi Yoichi must also let go of all of his fixations to finally release what's been lying dormant. As we then get a panel showing him being born anew from the old crybaby version of himself, Isagi wonders what does remain beyond those fixations. When you take away his admiration for Noah, his rivalry with Itoshi-rin, his ill intent towards Kaiser, all that's left is a primal desire for victory, to win at any cost. After that amazing 3-page sequence of Isagi awakening mentally in a sense, page 14 then throws us back into the action with Noah and Julian Loki clashing in the flow state. Ryusei and Yuri try to adjust themselves, but are sadly too late, as Loki threads a pass beyond Noah and through the both of them. The target was none other than Itoshi-rin, who traps the ball with Igarashi taunting out his front. This time around though, things are different, because with significantly more space being made by Loki's run and Itoshi-rin's eyes clear with resolve, the monk is bypassed. We literally see Igarashi try to leap forward and football tackle Rin, however the poor monk is left diving into the air due to a clean roulette turn. This puts a smile on Loki's face, as Rin continues forward with only 2 more NPC defenders and the goalkeeper Gagamaru to handle. His tongue once again begins to hang out too, now that he's past Igarashi, and it's for the 2 random defenders. Well, they kinda just sit there and watch in horror as they know what's to come. Isagi Yoichi, however, appears running towards Rin from the box, fully widened out with an all-new visual prowess. This metavision pattern now wraps itself down and around the side of his face, as he glares intensely towards his rival. Itoshi-rin just glares back with the most horrified expression, because this Yoichi is not the same as before. He swears to annihilate Rin, saying that if he's gonna be a monster on the genius side, then Isagi himself will become a monster of prodigies. The final visual we get is Itoshi-rin re-entering his berserker state, all while he's reflected in the new visual prowess of Isagi Yoichi. The outro text then states, "The 2 rivals clash again. Be prepared for the unknown shock that awaits beyond this egoism." The way it's worded seems very ambiguous to me, and although implying that Isagi has evolved, it does seem a bit weird to me still. I also find it super interesting how Itoshi-rin is willingly tapping into his berserker state like I predicted to bypass Igarashi, making him have a sort of dual ego in a way. Let me know if you want to see a video yapping about how lethal that would be in the World Cup, because think about it, a mix of his puppeteer playstyle and berserker mode would go absolutely insane. Anyways, with that sadly ending out today's chapter, all that we're left with until next week is chapter 283's upcoming title, which will be Field Offensive and Defensive. Obviously this game should end in about 2 to 3 chapters, so all I will predict is Isagi Yoichi will be cooking a 5-course meal for us. I feel like Doctor Strange looking into the future, but I just don't see any possibilities for Isagi to fail here, considering the ball is in Beam's possession, he's freshly awakened, everything is pointing towards a good ending for him. The real question comes down to if he will score the winning goal himself, and if so, how will Alexis Ness make his appearance to help? I refuse to believe that Kaneshiro and Nomura just forgot about Ness and all the eyes will be on Kaiser and Isagi, because bro, why else did I need to sit through that depressing ass backstory? Whatever the case may be, if you enjoy staying up to date with Blue Lock and would like to support my channel, please click that subscribe button, comment below your thoughts, and feel free to join my community Discord as well. Please remember to also comment below your vote for Blue Lock 2024, as the artist worked super hard and I'm very grateful for that. I hope you all have an amazing day, I'll see you next time for a new video, and like I said, please take care.